All right, good morning, boys and girls. Today we are going to work on our facial proportion project inspired by the artist Chuck Close. And the first step we did a few classes ago is we practiced drawing our face with correct facial proportion. So this is the worksheet we used, and we learned that the eyes are about halfway down, the nose is about 2/3 or 3/4 the way down. And then once we learned how to draw faces the correct way, we drew, again, our face bigger on a bigger piece of paper with pencil. And then we went over that with Sharpie. Or you maybe have the choice to go over with your fingerprints on the Sharpie line with black paint. So let me show you two examples of that. First example is with the black fingerprints. And a tip is not to go over the eyes because they're too small to fit your fingerprint in. And what you're doing is you're just dipping your finger in black paint and making little fingerprints as you go. Your other choice is to just go over with Sharpie. And this is my example. And then after you're done with Sharpie, step number 4, I believe we're on 4, is to draw a grid in the back. And a tip for that is to use a ruler and make 2-inch squares. And that's a little bit tricky, so I'm going to show you how to do that. What you do is you take your ruler, you line it up with the top of your paper, so this edge of the paper is in line with the ruler, so I know my ruler is level. And then you're going to make marks at 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. And then you're going to do the exact same thing on the other side of your paper so that you have 2 tick marks because you want those to help you line the lines up. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. And then to make it a little bit longer, what I'm going to do is just line up my ruler with the ones I already made and make the 6th one down here. And do the same thing on the other side. Line up with the ones I already made and made the next one down. Okay? So then I have 2 tick lines to connect. And I'm going behind the face. So I'm drawing a pencil line, not through the neck here. Whoops. Same thing over here. Lining up those 2 tick lines. That way my lines are straight. Okay, and you're going to do the same thing going the other direction. So I'm going to turn my paper, well actually I'm going to leave my paper straight, but you could turn your paper and I'm going to do tick lines going horizontally. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and then I'm going to do another one a little ways down, not inside the head, so I'm going to need to maybe go above the head a little bit. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay? And then I'll connect those lines. And this line is not going to be quite long enough. So I'll show you how you can work on that. Okay, so since your lines should be straight, you could just line up your ruler with that again, the line that you did so far, and just make it longer. So I'm lining up my ruler, and I want a good amount lined up, not just a little tip lined up, but enough of my ruler line touching that line so I know that my ruler's straight. This line I'm probably not going to see too much of because the face is mostly covering it, maybe a little bit right there. That one I definitely won't see. This one I won't see, and this one to the far right, I do see. Okay, so now I got myself a nice grid, and step number 5 is to color with analogous colors, and you have to pick 4 colors. And so if we go over to the color wheel on the wall, analogous colors are colors that are right next to each other. So for example, I could do yellow, yellow-green, green, and blue-green. Or I could do yellow-orange, orange, red-orange, and red. It's up to you what analogous colors you want to do, but I am going to be looking for this when I grade your project. So after you decide on which 4 colors you want to do, You can use markers, crayons, colored pencils, it's up to you. And you can also decide how you want to do your design in each of the grids. So each square could be a little bit different. I think I'm going to do red, orange, orange. Let's see, let me look at the color wheel. Red, orange, orange, so I need yellow, orange. And what I'm doing to help me out is I'm looking at the words on the sides. Here's regular orange, and I already have that. So it looks like this color box doesn't have enough of the colors I need, so what I'm going to have to do is go over to the colored pencil bin, where the sharp pencils are, and take a look in here. Okay, so I got orange, red, orange. I need a yellow orange. This kind of looks like a yellow orange to me. Then a regular yellow. So that's 4 analogous colors. Great. So I can use whatever design I want inside of the squares. I might be inspired by an artist named Kandinsky, where he did concentric circles. So I could find the square I want to start and just color in a circle like so. And then I could add another design. And you don't necessarily have to do them in order like I'm doing right now. And I might do a different version up here. But you can do different patterns in each of the boxes if you want. Just keep in mind if you do different patterns, it's going to have a different feel to it. So there won't be that uniformity or that repetition of the same pattern. It'll have more of a feel of variety. I did that one already. Which color am I missing? Yellow. I think I'll do the opposite for this one. You can see that these two have the same background color right next to each other, which maybe wasn't a smart idea because they're probably going to kind of blend into each other. So I'm going to try and do a different background color for this one. Also, I noticed that I'm seeing my pencil lines still after coloring, so maybe I should have drew my pencil lines lighter so you couldn't see them as much, or what I can do is go in with my eraser. I have to be careful because it's going to erase my colored pencil too, and erase those pencil lines a little bit.